Mitchell Renz, Chat Sports. You're watching NFL Daily. And coming up here on today's show, I'm going to show you 4 big-name players that I believe could potentially get massive contract extensions after June 1st. The 4 players that I'm going to be talking about: Kyler Murray, quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals; Aaron Donald, defensive tackle of the Los Angeles Rams; Darren Waller, tight end of the Raiders; Nick Bosa, defensive end of the 49ers. What you're going to be seeing here on today's show is the latest news and rumors around these 4 players, why I decided to go ahead and pick them. I'm also going to break down what the contracts are going to be. So not only are they going to get them, I'm going to actually try to break down and predict which contracts they end up getting. So here's my question. Before I tell you how much money these 4 players I believe are going to get, which guy is the most interesting? When you clicked on this video, which player were you most intrigued of what I had to say about what type of deal he's going to get? Is it Kyler Murray, type KM? Is it Darren Waller, DW? Aaron Donald, AD? Nick Bosa, NB? The first player that we're going to be talking about here is Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray. No doubt looking for a new deal. Him and his agent have been very vocal. Despite him having 2 years left on his deal, he wants to be paid like a top quarterback on the market. Murray was the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft, coming off a year where he won the Heisman Trophy. I do think he fits very well in this offense. The biggest issue is this. When you go back and you look at Murray's season last year, it's really split between when DeAndre Hopkins was healthy and when he was banged up. The first 8 games of the season, Cardinals were 7-1, had 2,276 passing yards, 20 total touchdowns, 7 total turnovers. Then DeAndre gets banged up the final 7 games, 2-5 record in the regular season. Cardinals looked like absolute trash in the playoffs, which is why there's a lot of people out there like, man, should we go out and give Kyler an extension, especially if he wants top money? It might not matter to you. It might not matter to me. The guy that makes the call, though, more than likely could end up being a guy like Steve Keim, Cardinals general manager, who had this to say on a Murray extension. I just think it's a timing thing. Anyone who has done it before has done it anywhere from July to September. No different for us. We know he is under contract for another year. Also, the 5th-year option in 2023. He is our future. We feel that strongly. I feel like we'll be able to get something done this summer. So if that's what Steve Keim believes, then all right. Then if a deal is going to end up going down, I could see that Murray's going to want top 5 quarterback money. I don't think he gets Aaron Rodgers money, but honestly, anything in the Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Derek Carr realm is 100% totally possible. And if his agent's doing the right job, I actually think Murray could end up being a top 5 paid quarterback. But Chat Sports is built on the back of our community. We are an interactive channel, and I want to know what you guys have to say, whether we're here on Rumble, whether we're on YouTube. It doesn't matter where. Does Kyler Murray deserve to be a top 5 paid quarterback? Let me know. Y for yes, or you can go ahead and type your N for no. So what I have here, guys, is my Murray contract extension projection. I have Murray getting a deal for 5 years. The total is going to be $210 million, which puts him at an average of 42. So technically, it's a little bit more than Derek Carr, but a little bit less than Josh Allen. The guaranteed money is $150 million because when you look at a lot of the other deals that ended up going down, the $150 million mark seems pretty good to me. It's slightly more than Matthew Stafford got, but it's a little bit less than what some of these other top quarterbacks end up getting. So the fact that Murray has 2 years left on his deal with a 5-year extension, that puts Murray's new contract at a projected 7 years, $250.9 million, which is an average of $35.8 million a year, and then total guarantees up to $185 million. If you haven't already, please go ahead and support the show. Follow Chat Sports on Rumble. We are quickly approaching 5,000 followers. We need 482 more. The more followers we get means the more videos we can make for y'all. This video also dropped exclusively on Rumble on Monday. So if you're watching this on a later date on YouTube, could have just seen it on Rumble. Rumble.com/NFL Daily. Let's go to the next player here on my list for major extension candidates coming up. It's Nick Bosa, defensive end of the San Francisco 49ers. So we talked about Kyler Murray, who was the number 1 overall pick in 2019. Well, let's talk about the number 2 pick. It's Bosa. And the 49ers have already picked up his 5th-year option. There's no doubt, when this guy's healthy, he's just one of the best defensive players in the entire league. There's no doubt about it. And I don't think many people would dispute that. Coming off a year where he had 52 tackles, 15.5 sacks, 32 quarterback hits. Here's the issue, though. In 2020, had some injuries. ACL, 6 tackles, no sacks, 1 quarterback hit. As a rookie, he looked really good. Rookie of the year. 47 tackles, 9 sacks, 25 QB hits. So for 3 years, 24.5 sacks. When you look at it from a healthy standpoint and years that he plays, he's looking at about 12.5 sacks per year. It's definitely pretty good. If you want to get paid, he is going to get paid. He's going to make a lot of money. And the highest paid edge rushers per year right now, TJ Watt making 28. His brother, Joey Bosa, is making 27. Myles Garrett at 25. Max Crosby sitting at 23.5. And then Khalil Mack with the Chargers sitting at somewhere at 23.5. So where exactly do I think Nick Bosa ends up fitting? I have him getting a 5-year, $142.5 million deal, making him the highest paid defensive end in the National Football League with an average of 28.5. The guarantee, $103 million. I went with that number because his brother Joey got $102 million, and you always got to one-up your big brother. So in terms of his new deal, remember, he got that 5th-year option. That means Bosa's new contract projection would be 7 years, $171 million in total guaranteed money, or $171 million total. That's an average of 24.4. Guaranteed money at $132 million. Wow. A lot of money. If any of these players end up making a big-time deal like this, we're going to be making a video. Hell, we might even go live on YouTube. Subscribe to Chat Sports today. Turn on those notifications. That way you never miss a video. So seriously, you hit that bell underneath the video, then you click all. So when you get a video or when we drop a video, it literally just pops up on your phone like a text message. I know you guys see your text. I know if somebody slides in your DMs, you see it as well. Let us slide into your iPhone DMs, Android DMs. Turn on your notifications. That's all I ask. Next player coming up here is tight end Darren Waller for the Las Vegas Raiders. And currently, Darren Waller is the 17th highest paid tight end in the National Football League. And Waller was just on a podcast this week and said that currently his agent is working on a new deal. The Las Vegas Raiders are also getting set to get $19.75 million after June 1st. So they are going to have money to spend. I think they extend Hunter Renfrow. I also think that they throw some money at Darren Waller's way. So Waller, this is what he had to say on the tight end market and potentially getting a new contract. My agent is working on that. I understand it, but I know if I focus on it too much, it could take away from my job and learning a new system and just continuing to try to evaluate and take care of my body in the right way. We'll get it done. So if Darren Waller's saying we'll get it done, a lot of rumors and reports out there saying that they're going to get it done, I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, I think the Raiders and Darren Waller end up getting a deal despite him having 2 years left on his contract. When you look at the numbers, Darren sure is coming off a year he was down, but he played in only 11 games. When he's fully healthy, he's a top 3, top 4 tight end. I don't care what anybody says. And if you can put up this type of production where you're averaging over 60 yards per game at the tight end position and an offense that's going to run a lot of 2 tight end sets with Josh McDaniels, it makes sense to make him happy because it's also going to make your quarterback, Derek Carr, happy. But when you look at the numbers here, the highest paid tight ends in the league per year this season, there's nobody that thinks that Darren doesn't deserve to be a little bit higher. I mean, hell, you got the top 10. He's not even in the top 10. The Patriots last season, they gave Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith both 12.5. I mean, these are your new coaches. They're going to pay Waller. Does anybody out there think that Will Dissly is a better tight end than Waller? Of course not. Nobody thinks that. So, yes, when Waller signed his first contract extension, I personally thought he took a team-friendly deal. The Raiders took a gamble on him and ended up paying off, and I think the Raiders would be smart to go ahead and pay this man. The question is this: do the Raiders, or should the Raiders, make Waller the highest paid tight end in all of football? Type P for paid, or do you wait? Do you not go ahead and make him the highest paid tight end? I do know this. I think no matter what, he's going to go ahead and make over $14 million a year. And with Waller's agent, the agent that he signed is notorious for getting the biggest deals that you possibly can, which is why when I go ahead and I break down my Waller extension projection, I have him getting the new biggest deal among all tight ends. And when you see his total contract, you'll be like, okay, it makes some sense. 3 years, $48 million. That's an average of $16 million. That makes him the highest paid tight end. George Kittle right now makes $15 million per year. Guaranteed money at $30 million. But when you add that to already his 2 years on his contract, it's 5 years, $62 million, which is an average of 12.4. That's technically 7th highest in the National Football League. Guarantees stay the same at $30 million. So all I'm saying is this. Waller is a great player, and I think he's going to be the highest player paid tight end. But when you look at it from an entire standpoint, you know, I really, truly believe this is a good deal for the Raiders, and it's a really good deal for Darren Waller. If you guys want even more content from the Chat Sports crew, check us out over on locals.com, where you can get all your content. This is an awesome platform which empowers content creators like myself and other people as well to do what they do. It's create content. You can get intimate access to the people and the ideas that you care about. If you want to know more about the Raiders, then check me out, RaidersReport.locals.com. If you want to get in contact with other guys like Russell Brand, who's in one of my favorite movies like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, you can do that on Locals. Tulsi Gabbard, she's got some interesting content. Dr. Drew, maybe you need help in the bedroom. The Rubin Report, they got all sorts of awesome content over on Locals, so please check it out. But if you want content from me, it's RaidersReport.locals.com. The final player that I'm going to bring up here for my major extensions coming video is Aaron Donald, defensive end, defensive tackle of the Los Angeles Rams. Donald just recently signed with Kanye West, Donda Sports. That means big-time money's about to come. Donald has also made it known that he's flirted with retirement. He also is skipping OTAs and looking for a pay raise. Currently, he's 31 years old. When I hear Aaron Donald, I actually don't think of contract extension. I think of him getting a pay raise, which I'll talk about here in a second. But when you currently look, because he's the only player that's not like the other ones on this list, where Donald right now is actually the highest paid defensive tackle per year, making $22.5 million. Well, guess what? That's not good enough for Donald, nor realistically should it be. And when you talk about Donald, you can't look at defensive tackles. You got to look at the edge rushers again, the highest paid defensive players in the National Football League, because personally, I think Donald's going to make more than T.J. Watt. And if you don't believe me, this is what NFL.com had to say on an Aaron Donald extension. Donald leads the NFL in sacks, 98. Quarterback hits, 226. And tackles for loss, 150 since entering the NFL with size concerns in 2014. A first-team All-Pro in 7 of his 8 seasons. Donald trails only Hall of Famers Bruce Smith, Reggie White, and Lawrence Taylor for the most by a defensive player in the Super Bowl era. Each of them has 8 such selections. Each of them has 8 such selections that could be a generational bias, but I feel like it's time to bestow Aaron Donald with the title of greatest defensive player in the annals of league history. Donald, J.J. Watt, and Taylor are the only players in NFL history to win 3 Defensive Player Year awards, and honestly, man, I think Aaron Donald could end up winning his 4th. So here's my question. We just mentioned a lot of great players there. When I think of the greatest defensive players of all time, I think of Reggie White, I think of Lawrence Taylor. But does Aaron Donald deserve to be in that conversation? Of course he deserves to be in the conversation. But is he the defensive GOAT? Is Aaron Donald the GOAT on the defensive side of the football? I want you to type G for GOAT, or if you think it's somebody else, go ahead and type other. Let's talk about the GOAT's contract, because if I'm being real, I look at the numbers, I think Donald deserves to be called the GOAT on the defensive side of the football. 3 years, $76.5 million, an average of 25.5, guaranteed numbers, $5 million. This is what he has left. Aaron Donald only has $5 million of guaranteed money left on his deal. So the numbers that I'm about to show you are going to shock you. I do not think he gets a contract extension. I think he just keeps the 3 years on his deal and gets a pay raise. Here you go. Total, $96 million. An average of $32 million. He's going to be the first defensive player that gets over $30 million, and you got to be able to face the facts. this man is worth it, you want to make sure he doesn't retire, guess what? Give it to him fully guaranteed. 3 years, 96 million guaranteed, which flirts with a lot of the numbers that you're seeing edge rushers get. Now, that's some massive numbers, y'all, and I get a big-time money. I wish I could make, hell, $1 million guaranteed if I'm being real with y'all. If you don't like what you saw on today's show, you can always hit me up on IG. I'm on Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365. And remember, if any of these deals end up going down, I promise you, we will talk about them. There is no doubt about that. So before I go, let me ask you this one more time. Is Aaron Donald the GOAT on the defensive side of the football? Type G for GOAT, or you can go on to type O for other.